Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
Of the American Blind Association. He's the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people.
If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Fantastic. I'm always in awe of, I know, jealous.
Yes. So let's get to these fine, amazing folks today on this Thankful Thursday, Vivian.
I'm thankful to be here with you.
Thankful to be with you.
We have Paul Fetcher, a member of Mensa in the house.
Is in the building.
Paul left the Citadel with a civil engineering degree in mathematics, a minor in business and psychology. On he went to become a premier commercial broker. In fact, since 1980, he's landed more restaurants in New York than any other broker. As president of Great American Brokerage, his genius lands him projects globally, from Alaska to Shanghai to Dubai and Hong Kong. And in his spare time, he's a Toastmasters contest winner and a world-class runner. So welcome, Paul.
I used to be a world-class runner.
Oh,
we're on the same times I used to. I just don't cover the same distance.
Well, very impressive resume, and thank you for your Citadel-ness. How about a fun fact, sir?
I've run more marathons than any sane man.
How many have you run, Paul?
303.
Oh my God.
Well, I count the longer ones there too. You know, the 50 kilometers and 40 miles and 50 miles. Count them in too.
Absolutely extraordinary. Fun fact, my high school freshman football coach, who to this day has had some of the greatest impact on my life, and he coached me in football for a whopping 3 months, that to this day we still see, and lives in South Carolina, was a Citadel graduate and player at the Citadel in football. So I am.
What was his name?
Dennis Slezak, Slezak.
Sorry, different era, but we had a few. As a matter of fact, I was there when we put our first guy into the pros.
That's
John Small for the Atlanta Falcons, and then after that, Stump Mitchell for the St. Louis Cardinals.
I remember Stump Mitchell. I didn't know he went to the Citadel. Incredible.
Oh yeah, right, easy. Look at his shoes; they're shined.
Awesome, virtual. Thank you, Paul, for being here. And Coach Slezak was what I would call self-mastery. He was absolutely incredible. We were up 20-0 in our first game of our high school career against a very strong opponent, rival high school. We came into the locker room. We were all excited, ready to go. He came in and blew us up, like from one end of the locker room to the other, about all the things we did suboptimally. Did we think we won this game already? And he just set the tone for many of us, for our lives. So he was really extraordinary. So thank you again for being here today.
There is an awful lot to be learned I find myself extremely fortunate that I went to the Citadel when I did. My class of the Citadel has generated more generals than any other class out of the Citadel or out of West Point.
Boom. Level 5 listening told me a lot right there. I went to Columbia University also. Paul played against West Point every year because at that time in the Ivy League, we played Army and Navy as a part of our games and competition. And I am present to the very fun, healthy, conspiring together level of competition amongst the armed forces. So thank you again for being here. And I heard you loud and clear.
I appreciate that very much. Challenge with playing football or looking at Serena today is you're in a zero-sum sport. Best tennis game I ever played in my life. I lost, but I was the loser. When you get out into long distance running, one person may finish first, but you can have hundreds, if not thousands of winners. Did you achieve your goal? Was it realistic? Go with that.
Awesome. Thank you for being here.
I'm so inspired, Sean, that I feel like I'm going to start counting all my steps as I come up the stairs to do this every day.
Let's go. You have 303 marathons to go, Vivian, and then you've
got it.
These are all mini marathons.
Who else we have to be here with Paul today?
We love you, Paul. We also have Lindsay Corbin in from Phoenix, Arizona in the house. She went to Emory University, became a paralegal, started out with online brand protection in companies like Botox and Latisse. And you know what Latisse is, Sean?
I do not.
It is a lash extension mascara.
I use that all the time.
I figured as much. That's why I decided to bring it to your attention. Then she worked as VP overlooking contracts for franchise companies. And today she is founder and managing partner at Delegate Legal, a virtual IP legal paralegal firm for over 25 years. She's also president of I Got This Foundation. So welcome, Lindsay.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Lindsay, welcome to the party.
Thank you. Thanks. Should be fun.
Yes. What's a fun fact, Lindsay?
My little sister is the probably most famous golfer with Down syndrome. She made par on the 16th hole here at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Her video has been viewed more than 48 million times at this point, and that's where we came up with I Got This Foundation. That is our family foundation, and that was my brainchild to bring golfing opportunities to individuals with intellectual disabilities.
What's the name of the foundation, Lindsay?
I Got This Foundation. When you watch her video, individuals with Down syndrome do a lot of self-talk. And so her thing that she was saying as you're watching the video is, I got this. I got this. And so that's really resonated.
Oh, Lindsay, that is beautiful. Would you want to, if you want to drop the link to the video in the chat, it would be much appreciated.
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
So quick fun fact. So I'd like to see if there's a relevant fun fact to connect upon. Number one, I'm blind. I don't know if we know that here. So I am present to a different type of disability. My grandfather was blind. His brother was blind. I am blind as well. I played college baseball, had a degenerative hereditary eye disease. I can't see anything on the screen in front of me whatsoever, and do a lot of work with the American Foundation for the Blind. So again, thank you for your charitable work in the space of people with disability. Number one. Number two, are you familiar with the law firm of Lewis and Roca in Phoenix?
100%, yes.
Yes. So here's my fun fact. They were my adversaries in a federal trial in 2016 in the federal court before the Honorable Judge Campbell. I'm not sure if you know Judge Campbell or his reputation at all. He's
yes, I know his reputation.
Yes. So fun fact is we had a $0 offer going into trial, and we were the plaintiffs. And I will ask if you guess what the outcome of our trial was.
I'm going to guess a really big verdict in your favor.
I'm guessing that's probably why I'm talking about it. So yes, we have a 27 verdict, and it's the largest jury verdict in the last decade in the state of Arizona.
Yeah, we don't have big jury verdicts here, so that's awesome.
It was in a business breakup case. It was completely crazy, wild. So yes, with your legalness present, I thought you might know some of those fine folks.
I do.
Yeah, thank you for
You
being.
should have filed for change of venue, brought it to New York.
Yes, it would have. We had an 8, Lindsay. We had an figure punitive damage award. So
that's probably the highest to date, if I had to guess.
yeah, I wouldn't doubt if it may be the highest punitive damage award in the history of Phoenix litigation. Certainly because it wasn't in a farmer product liability case. It was in a straight breach of fiduciary duty contract case. So it's $1 million punitive damage.
They love breach of fiduciary duty here in Arizona. That's the one claim that goes in every complaint you'll ever see is no matter what it is, you looked at me the wrong way, oh, breach of fiduciary duty. Like they love it here. So yeah, that's awesome.
What was the name of the case so we can look at this and learn as well?
Yeah, so the name of the case was Wichansky, Wichansky versus Zowine, Zowine. So yeah, some awesome coverage.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so thank you so much, Paul. Thank you, Lindsay, and we got some judges, Vivian.
We sure do. And from St. George, Utah, we got Carl Norgren in the house.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, let's tell us about Carl, Vivian.
At 6 years old, he created his own paper route and understood what it meant to fulfill his clients' needs. 25 plus years later, he keeps protecting what his clients value most: homes, boats, ATVs, classic cars, and retirement. And as owner and chief marketing officer at Norgren Insurance Financial Team, it's what he does every day. So welcome, Carl Norgren.
Hi.
Carl, welcome to the party from St. George. I think there's I'm trying to think of the name of it. DRA, Diamond Ranch Academy.
Yes, Diamond Ranch Academy is here.
St. George, awesome.
I know some of the people that work there.
Yeah, actually, I've had the privilege of being out there and meeting with some of those fine folks and the great work they're doing in the world. And how about a fun fact?
So a fun fact is we're up in Lake Powell country, where Rainbow Bridge is. Have you ever heard of that whole thing? It's a big structure. It's a big artificial, it's the largest natural bridge in the world. And a fun fact is that I was there. So getting to it's a fairly big deal. I was able to get there as a very, very young child, and with my entire family. And then we did a reunion of 50 years in that same exact spot with my immediate brothers and sisters, and my parents, and my mom just passed this year at 90. So we were able to do that a few years ago. It was our 50th reunion under Rainbow Bridge, and I had written a song for the moment, of course. So I serenaded my mom. We had to roll her in one of those big wheelchairs with the moon tires on them. You ever seen those things?
Yep.
And so, of course, driving the boat across the lake, got this big wheelchair on the back strapped down because it didn't fit anywhere. But it was really a neat event. It was a neat fact. It's a great place to be in. One of my favorite things to do is bring people to that place because that's just the wow factor. It'd be like driving an airplane through the Grand Canyon when you're on a boat, Lake Powell. It's really neat.
Well, Carl, thank you for that beautiful story. Sorry for the loss, of course, of your mom.
Oh,
what a beautiful moment and a beautiful share. And thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
My heart feels so full. In from Boston, we have Dick Lee. He worked as a loan officer, became founder and seller of 2 mortgage companies, was VP at Salem 5 Bank, and decided to take his 27-year expertise to bank on himself at Lee Real Estate Group, brokered by eXp Realty these past 4 years. Today, he's considered top 1% of among all eXp agents in attracting of realtors and the fastest growing brokerage in North American history. Mic drop. Welcome, Dick Lee.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here with this amazing crew here. It's didn't expect to be this here, but when Judy says you got to be there, you got to be there.
Yeah.
Dick, thanks so much for being here today. How about a fun fact?
Fun fact. So one of my favorite fun facts is I was an extra in a movie called The Invention of Lying. So I met Jennifer Gardner, Rob Lowe, and Ricky Gervais. Okay, amongst some other big names. But I tell you, I have this soft spot here for Jennifer Gardner. Watched several of her movies and shows. And
You're going to have to get in line.
Yeah, she's a regular Jane, and who would have thought that she'd be speaking to us little extras on the set? But that was a great experience. Obviously, my acting career didn't go so far, which is why I'm in real estate. But no, I did that while I was still in real estate and in financial services, and I wanted to do it because I did want to branch off in that segment. And time is an issue, and I said, you know what, let's stick with what I know.
Dick, appreciate you being here, and I am present to your unique success. Anytime anybody makes it into the top 1% of anything, it's extraordinary. And I'm sure you have many other successful dynamics prior to that moment. But I know EXP is rocking and rolling in a lot of cool ways. And in fact, we had the CEO of EXP on our clubhouse about a week ago. So, thanks so much for being here, man.
Thank you for having me. Excited.
Awesome.
And it was a pleasure meeting you at Sherry's office, Dick.
Yes, I remember that, Paul. We shared a nice cuisine in her desk there. And yeah, Paul is the restaurantexpert.com.
Love it.
Nick, you've got the best audio. What are you using there?
I'm using a MacBook Pro and just talking into it.
Oh, it has great bass. You sound awesome.
No, that's his natural voice. He's got a voice.
It's what he's been cultivating as an actor. That's why he's
right. See, it's all those acting lessons taken off.
Yeah. In from Scottsdale, Arizona, we have Tomisa Leiden in the house. Whoop, whoop. Tomisa is a senior living lifestyle expert and owner of Leiden Senior Pathways, a RE/MAX Excalibur real estate. She focuses on helping seniors move into smaller spaces and lends her expertise in the process of transitioning. In fact, relocation and resizing are the subjects of her award-winning speeches on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox TV News, and many other talk shows. She's also taken this to Amazon in her book, Smart Living for Seniors, How to Make the Best of the Rest, and shares more on her best-selling book, One Habit for Entrepreneurial Success. So welcome to Misa Leiden.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Super impressive stuff. And how about a fun fact?
My motto in life is, if it's not fun, I'm done. So I have a lot of fun facts, but I think I'll just go with this one. I was the first female UPS driver in the state of Oklahoma and the first female supervisor promoted in UPS in the state of Arizona, in the state of Oklahoma, back in the day. I'm in Arizona now.
That is outstanding. And how did you make your pivot into entrepreneurship from there?
I didn't like working for the man. I'd rather work for me. And I can do things quicker, faster, and it's just a lot more fun to kind of set your own stage and move forward at your own pace. Although UPS had a great pace and taught me well, I just love the fact that I went from that to being a designer, an interior designer, into then real estate, because it all fits together so well.
Oh, that's awesome. So, and it's Tomisa? Tomisa. Thank you so much for being here today. Vivian, we got a role player.
We sure do. You may have seen her. She may be here right now.
I'm here.
There she is, Lorelei Mariano, the producer of The Real Raw. She is founder and designer of Bella Roche. Let's see your designs, darling. I know you're wearing them today. Look at that fabulosity. Also worn by top celebrities in Hollywood and featured in Fashion Week LA. Lorelei has also starred in 3 seasons of The Real Housewives of Orange County. Three. And leads a trending high-level mastermind with leaders from the inner circles of Tony Robbins. But her superpower is that she's the connector to the untouchables. For her mission is to guide others out of childhood trauma as she did, which is the subject of her upcoming memoir, Triumph Over Trauma. So welcome, Lorelei.
Thank you, Vivian.
Lorelei, outstanding job being here today. And what is your fun fact?
Ooh, this is a good one since you're flying tomorrow, actually. I think you're flying tomorrow. So, are you?
Yes.
A few hours. Okay. Well, and you're going to be on a small plane, apparently.
Yes.
So my former husband, who is actually legally blind in one eye, decided to take flying lessons, bought a plane, a 6-passenger Cessna, and finally he talked me into going to Vegas with him. So before the trip, he was kind of putting this WD-40 on the door. I'm like, okay, what are you doing? That doesn't seem so professional. And so we're flying, we're, I don't know, 30,000 feet right up there. All of a sudden, what happens? The door opens. So I'm in the second seat. So the door of the plane, that high, opens, flies open.
You're flying to Las Vegas from where? California?
Yeah, yes.
God.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
So literally, I don't know, 30,000 feet, and I'm freaking out. And then the co-pilot and myself are trying to close the door. Pardon me.
I think I saw this in James Bond.
I'm a James Bond girl. That's for sure now. So
can
guess,
pass for
okay,
it.
then I'm freaking out. What does it do? The door flies open again. And my bags almost flew out. I thought I was going to die. And imagine, the air pressure within is going to be a little crazy. So we actually landed, survived. The door got closed and I was a wreck. And I'm like, I am never flying with you again. Thank you very much. And I'm going to drive home. We're not taking a plane.
How did you get home?
Pardon?
How did you get home?
I actually was brave, and I did end up flying back. I thought, we can't let this stop me. Let's go. It got repaired.
This is why she's the connector to the Untouchables, Vivian. Outstanding. Vivian, final. What is your fun fact for today?
I once on American Airlines, and I don't know if you know this, Sean, but I used to do makeup for Benefit Cosmetics for a split second, but I used to do it also for my family. But if you could see my makeup, you could probably get an idea. And I know you can't see it, but I'm telling you, it came out really cool.
It's beautiful and blue and sparkly.
I ended up having a conversation just like this with an American flight attendant, and I did her makeup on the plane. As she was
So I'll share some fun fact later, but Vivian, you're extraordinary. As always, your magnificence, your energetic transference, your presence, so deeply and greatly appreciated. Thank you, Vivian.
Vivian was going to pop in, though. She was going to pop in about something. Remember, Vivian?
Yeah, I was just about to. So I want to remind everyone here to please go on Clubhouse, because I know you're going to want to see Sean Callagy share and take this conversation about how influence is a superpower further every day, Monday through Friday at 9:00 on Clubhouse. You don't have to do makeup. You just have to show up. Be there.
You're extraordinary. So Vivian, thank you. Lorelai, it is time to drop in. So let's go this way. Let's go, Lindsay. I have a 1 or a 2 under this table. What do you think? It's a 1 or a 2?
A 2, sorry.
It is a 1. So that means Paul, in his citadel-ness, has won the toss. And he can either elect to go first or take this fine lady and throw her under the bus and have her go. What is it going to be?
My guess was 1, so I'll go first.
All right, outstanding, awesome. So Paul, Lorelai could be herself. She could be an ideal client or any avatar you want that you would be seeking a yes from. Like, all things start after yes, integrous, heart-centered yes, but all things begin there. So who would you like Lorelai to be today?
She could do a fine job as a restaurant front of the house manager.
Nice. Lorelai.
And owner.
Okay.
Perhaps with Spago. Wolfgang's in the back, and you're up front managing the joint, and in
which one?
Yes.
Spago in Beverly Hills.
Got it.
Yes.
$20 will get you a window seat.
So let's drop in.
Okay, ring, ring.
Okay. Hello, Lorelai.
Hello,
Thanks
Paul.
so much. Thanks so much for giving me a call. You know what we do. It's our job to help you maximize the value of your assets. And we can, if you're interested in buying another restaurant, fine, we can help you there. Or if you'd be interested in finding out what yours is worth, we could do that. So what brought you to us today? Why did you call?
Well, actually, you were referred to me, but I'd like to know a little bit more. I'm in the dark, but I'd like to know a little bit more about how long you've been in business and more about exactly what you do and what I can expect.
Sure. Well, I've been described as, I'm not really a real estate broker. I'm a restaurant guy who happens to do real estate. So my first paycheck job was flipping burgers and cutting up French fries. And when I worked the window at a fast food stand, I used to actually get tips. So I started there. By the time I was 21, I had my own restaurant, and I figured out which end of the day I wanted to see a sunrise from. So somewhere between the time I was 20 years old and grew all this gray hair, in between, I've done nothing but restaurants, finding locations for them, buying and selling existing restaurants and chains, and helping people maximize the value of their assets. So tell me how I could help you.
Beautiful. I'd like to purchase a new restaurant, get it all set up and going, and just wondered how you could assist in that.
Lorelai, Wolfgang's got a quick question. There's craziness in the back. There's people trying to sneak in the kitchen. You have to run. Pause.
Oh my gosh, it's blowing up in here. I gotta go. I will get right back.
Understood. I'll give you a call when it's not during service. What's a good time for you?
Thank you. Probably like 10 minutes.
Good luck in getting that under control in 10 minutes. I'll give you a little more. We'll be back.
Outstanding. Have you ever been out to Spago's in Beverly Hills?
Yes. And for $20, I got a window seat.
Absolutely.
Now, I've got two attorneys. Here's an attorney story for you. Two attorneys out there who were having dinner there and just saying, look at this. How much food is this? And it cost me how much? I bet we could do it cheaper. So that was Larry Flax and Larry Rosenfeld. And they went down a few blocks away and opened up California Pizza Kitchen. They had taken 26 trips to New York to try to find something. I went to about 6 of their restaurants in LA and Orange County. So I understood kind of the vibe, what they needed, where they needed to be. So I promised Larry I wouldn't misspend his time. Come in, there are 2 things I want to show you. I showed him the 2 things, and he, at the end of the day, he says, well, I've got a friend with NBC, so they will do a remote from us when I open, so that'll be fine. But in terms of which one do you prefer? He goes, the one you can deliver first. So I'll take either of them. They had a wonderful question going back to the era when people still smoked in restaurants. They say, do we, now put on your lawyer hat, do we, as civil rights attorneys, do we have the right to force someone to work in a smoking section? Then they asked a very good follow-up question. Why would we want to have a smoking section at all? There's less wear and tear on the property. The seats turn faster. There's less damage. People are healthier. They had lower turnover of staff and less frequency of illness because you're working in a healthier atmosphere. They're terrific people, and it's great when you meet attorneys like that.
That's awesome, Paul. Completely agree. Thank you for sharing that awesome story. Lindsay, we got like no smoking sections being invented because Wolfgang Puck charged too much for pizza. Like that's present, so which is extraordinary. So Lindsay, who would you like Lorelai to be?
A managing partner of a law firm.
Nice. Lorelai, right. Managing partner, take us in.
Yeah, bring. Can I speak to Lorelai, please?
Speaking.
Hi, Lorelai. This is Lindsay Corbin. I own a company, and we support outsource efforts with law firms, and we provide senior level expert paralegals to help with your intellectual property needs. I was given your information. I understand that you guys are a small firm. You might need some assistance, and wanted to connect with you to see if I could answer any questions.
Thank you for reaching out. Yes, that is true. Could you tell me a little bit more about your firm and what you offer, and the kind of the experience of those paralegals?
Sure. So we pride ourselves on seamless integration. So when you join with our firm, we will get you set up with a project management system that allows you to interact directly with us. We are available, we're based all across the country. All of our team has at least 13 years of experience in the intellectual property field. We've got some with more, some that are right at that point, but we've all been doing this for a very long time. There's no training involved in working with our team. You know, you bring us on board and we already know what we're doing. We're able to take your caseload from intake to registration, meaning when somebody comes to you and wants to open a new case, we can get directly involved at that point. We can interact with your client as needed. We can complete the filing process for you and then keep you updated as it proceeds to the conclusion. Is that something that's of interest to you or something that you could see using in your practice?
It is something that I could potentially use, that I'm looking at. I wanted to know, so how did you get my information?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm involved in a national organization for trademark attorneys and trademark administrators. And so we have some of the same mutual connections within that trademark space. And so somebody mentioned to me when they heard about my business that you had been looking or that you had expressed interest to them at some point. And so they thought this might be a valuable connection.
Mm-hmm. That, somewhat, yeah.
Managing partner Lorelei.
Yeah.
Got hit for a $27 million jury verdict. Somebody was being too pig-headed and thought that there was no way we could possibly lose, and we covered up all of the evidence, but now we got blown up. So we need you.
It's blowing up again. I'm sorry, Lindsay. I will be back as soon as I can. I've got to run. My apologies.
Sure, no problem. I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Lindsay, great job. How'd that feel for you?
Good. I mean, I love doing these types of calls with clients and getting ahead of the things that they don't know they need.
I love it. Helping them see what they don't see. Awesome job. Let's go this way. Carl, let's start with Paul. 30 seconds of feedback, please. 15.
Yeah, sure. Hey, no, he's a great resource. It sounds like he knows, not only knows everybody, but he knows everything you need to know about restaurant business. I'm sure that there's a lot more depth there available, given a little more time. I felt like he was easy to understand and had a great story to tell. I would say on the other side, I didn't feel like he went after the information on what she was looking for necessarily. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give him something like an 8.5 at this point.
Excellent. And how about for Lindsay?
Lindsay, yeah. And so that was really interesting because she was able to basically give the start to finish process of the whole relationship all the way around. And I really felt that that was a good way for, just to experience again, if it was something that was of interest. I did feel that the presentation was good. And there was a lot of information to digest that was usable. But in a similar context, didn't really find out what they were looking for in that space of time. Now,
and your score is?
The score on that would probably be, I would give her a 9.
Nice. Excellent job. Carl, Dick, what did you have for Paul, please?
Yes. So I love Paul's delivery, how he is a restaurateur who is in real estate. So if I was a restaurateur, I would relate that because he was a restaurateur before he became a real estate broker. So I love that. Karma's barking. Definitely love that. What Paul needs to work on, Paul, is I think that you certainly got interrupted because it is a busy restaurant. I like the humor, but I think that you could have offered a little bit more outside of the maximizing the asset part. That's how I felt on that. So my score for Paul is an 8.
Nice. And how about for Lindsay, please, Dick?
For Lindsay, extremely detail oriented. She got right to the point. Okay, of what her services are. Lindsay, where I felt that you needed to work on was you needed to find out what the goals of the prospective clients. So I felt that you didn't understand the goals, but you went right in for the pitch with a lot of information, as Carl mentioned. But I always like to go on the approach of finding out the needs of the potential client first, or whoever you're speaking to, finding the needs first, and then attacking it by planning and finding out what their pain points are. So with that, I give you a 7.
Nice. Excellent job, sir. And how about Tamisa? What did you have, please, for Paul?
Paul, I liked that you set up your credibility with your story first to position yourself to be in the know and knowledgeable about what you were going to present. I'm with the guys saying unless you knew prior to what she was wanting, there was no dialogue on how can I help and what aspect of your positioning or what you do can help them. And but I love the inflection in your voice as you spoke.
Excellent.
And your score?
I would give him an 8.
Nice. And for Lindsay, please, Tamisa.
And Lindsay, I love all the detail to what you do. You were very, very clear and specific. Maybe a little too lengthy in that. Again, with the gentleman saying you didn't find out what the needs were, I think it's important to listen to what someone needs so you can structure what you're pitching instead of pitching everything. And I liked what Paul did, and he set the next time slot for when they were going to get together, and you did not. It was just, I'll talk to you later. So
And your
I
score?
think it's important to nail down when you're going to talk next.
Nice.
And what
If
would
I
your
can
score be?
piggyback on one thing there.
I would give her a 7.
When I start out like that with somebody or somebody I'm cold calling, I find it's always easy. If I think they might want to sell, I never open with that. Like, hi, are you beaten down and sick and tired and you want to get out? No, not at all. I start out by offering them something on the positive side. I have a restaurant that I think your skill set would fit very nicely. Would you be interested in buying? And if that doesn't work for you, we also get involved in selling. And that's a very comfortable way to open that door and have them feel comfortable then talking about selling.
Beautiful. Love it. Thank you, Paul. Lindsay, there's like bankruptcy filings happening, appeals to Ninth Circuit, but Lorelai is broken away from that meeting and she's back for round 2. Are you ready?
Yep.
Please take us in.
Thanks, Lorelai. I'm glad we were able to reconnect today. So now that I've mentioned my business, how can I help? I mean, I realize I have a very busy IP practice. You are probably working on anywhere from 50 to 100 trademarks at a time. How's that process going for you? I mean, is there an opportunity here? How are you feeling about getting everything done? I mean, a lot of times it can be overwhelming. So how can I help make your life easier?
Mm-hmm. Yes, a little overwhelmed, a lot of backlog, trying to get it all in line, and definitely just feeling overloaded and needing precision and more, service. And
Sure. So what I'm hearing is that you've just got a lot going on, right? You're quite busy. So would it be helpful for you if we were able to help out with some of that load? So we can take off, as soon as the client comes in the door, we have the ability to get right involved. So you've already convinced the client why you're the best attorney for them. We can help you maintain that relationship. We can get that work done for you without you having to train us.
How do you do that? How would you do that?
Sure. So when that client comes in, they probably have done an intake form. So typically what we do is you would send that intake form to us, and we would see that they've requested, in this case, a trademark search. So what we would do is go ahead and order that trademark search. We would go ahead and put together an opinion letter for you, meaning how you think that they should proceed, if there's a good amount of risk or no risk. And then you could either send that to the client yourself, or we do have the option where clients will give us an email address with their firm. And so we are able to interact with their clients directly. So that way it would be Lindsay at XYZ Law Firm. And with my background and having been in the business and in the legal field for so many years, I'm perfectly able to draft those emails and send them right off to your client, copying you so you know what's going on, and you don't even have to worry about that file. The client then responds. They want to go ahead and proceed with the next steps. Again, I'm right there to step in. I can look at that. I can take it. My team can take it. We can get that application on file for them. As you know, once the application's filed, there's about a 4 to 5 month waiting period. So then it really kind of can go dormant for just a bit, allow you to catch up on some other projects, get some new clients in the door, and we're here as needed and can help with some ongoing projects.
Well,
can I answer any other questions?
Oh, I really like the fact that I can kind of just give it all to you. It's almost like white glove service. So I'm very impressed. So yeah, I appreciate
that's the goal, is to allow you guys to get some work-life balance back in there, do the things that bring you joy while we handle the legal work behind the scenes.
All right, it's blowing up again. Thank you so much.
Thank you for connecting. Why don't I go ahead and send you a follow-up email, and I'll put together our contract so you can see our pricing, and then we can set up a call. Maybe on Monday I'll reach out and see how it's going.
All right, thank you.
Nice job, Lindsay. How was that for you?
Good. It's similar but yet different to how my normal calls go. So it's good to approach it from another angle.
Excellent work. Paul, We have the manager back. And are you ready?
Absolutely.
Please.
I'm glad you got out of the weeds. Hopefully you did a lot of covers tonight.
Yes, thank you for being patient.
I'm used to it. It happens to me every
Right.
evening, somewhere between 6 and 8 p.m. So question is, where do you want to go from here? Tell me what you want to do in terms of acquisition or disposition, and let me see how I can help get you there.
Yeah, it is just still kind of a little uncertain thinking about those things, but I wanted to know, though, more first of what you provide, what you can provide for me.
Well, what we do is we start out, first of all, if you wanted to grow. Yeah, sure, I know of a few that are available, but that may or may not match with what you want. So the better I understand your skill set, the better I understand what works very well for you, then I'll be able to figure out where the guardrails are and make sure we're going hunting in the right briar patch to make sure that we can find what you need. Now, if you work with American Express, they can give you a psychological outline of your customer. I then can go to other major markets and find out where is going to be a good market that matches with the demographics and psychographics that have been good for you. So we do the market analysis, we identify potential locations, we negotiate the business transaction, we do the preliminary lease review. In New York, we're not allowed to practice law, but we are allowed to negotiate good deals. So every once in a while, an attorney says to me, "You an attorney?" When we're in a closing or something, I say, "No, I just get to play one at the closing table." So I want to make sure all the business conditions are right. You want someone with 50 years of experience sitting on your side of the table, negotiating for your benefit.
That's very impressive. I really like that, all the experience you've had for sure. And how do you find, what other elements what would I need to present in terms of my, the needs? What things are you looking for?
I'd like to come meet with you.
'Cause I like to kind of have it all planned first.
And understand where you are really well positioned. Question is, what do you do better than anyone else in your segment? What is it that makes you a standout? And then what I have to do is find opportunities that are weak where you're strong.
Very good. Well, it's blowing up again, but I am interested. I like your presentation and what you have to offer. So let's have a discussion.
Are you available, say, after lunch next Tuesday? Sit down around 2:30 or 3?
Yeah, that should work.
Great. Look forward to speaking with you then.
Thank you.
Excellent work, Paul.
And made the 1 second to go. Good. Okay.
Thanks. And Laurel, I had that feel for you. If you had like one word for Paul or a sentence and one word or sentence for Lindsay.
Yeah, I think it would be very, very aligned.
Nice. And how about for Lindsay?
Oh, precision, very precise.
Nice. Excellent. So Lindsay, would it be okay if I dropped in and had the honor and privilege of dropping in as you for a moment?
Sure. Yeah.
How about, would you like to be the managing partner of the law firm? We can have a little bit of fun with that.
Sure, let's do it.
How about you're me and I'm you? Does that sound fun?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So, all right, ring, ring.
Hi, this is Lindsay. Can I help you?
Yes, hi, I'm looking for Sean.
Oh, 1 second, let me go get him. Oh, yep, hi, this is Sean.
Hey, Sean, my name is Lindsay. And we were scheduled to have about a 3-minute conversation.
We are on Mars. Successful landing on Mars.
Yes. So I think it's like, about a 3-minute quick call. Does that still work for you?
Yep, sounds good. I've got about 3 minutes and then I've got to go run off to file a brief.
Yes. So listen, I saw your stuff online. I saw this like Real Raw thing. I saw you built a 125 person law firm. I have no idea what you do. And I say that in, like, not in a bad way, but in the most incredible way. What sort of are you up to in the world? I have a company that provides paralegal services, and there's all sorts of attorneys and law firms that we know, but I think there's definitely some potential intersection. So can I ask, what's the vision and like, what are you up to?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for watching that. That's really great. I'm glad you were able to see some of the content that we put out there. Yeah, I mean, things have just been so busy lately. You know, we are really working on building our practice. We've got a lot of clients that are coming in the door. You know, we want to give them really top-notch service, but gosh, we're so busy. So, you know, there's just so much going on. I mean, I'm not sure where to go with that. You know, it's like at the moment, I mean, I've got to run down to the courthouse right now. So, like, yeah. I don't know, remind me, like you said, you can help us maybe? What was that?
So Sean, listen, I know we have about 90 seconds left on our call time, and I know you got to get going. What is mind-boggling for me, with absolute respect, is why you would ever be running down to a courthouse. I get like a filing happen, but with what you're up to in the world, that seems like, with respect, unbelievable in this time. I also heard you saying that you have this desire, with all these clients flying around and, you know, amazing growth, you want to serve clients at an extraordinary level. So the work that is it okay if I share just a quick thoughts?
Of course, yeah.
So the work I do is we deliver excellence for law firms like yourself. And I know you have 125 people that are there, so you have a smaller firm, but so often there's gaps, there's creases. And what we come in and do with our team, our staff, our work is provide the highest level white glove service for firms like yourself that take care of all the things that you shouldn't be taking care of. And most importantly, I'd love to have a 30-minute conversation with you, not to sell you anything, but to find places that you're leaking time and money. That's the game I'm in. And not only do we help support you from not being involved in certain things you shouldn't be, but what we find, Sean, is that when we put people in place to take care of clients at an even higher level, it accelerates your growth. So how does that resonate for a 30-minute conversation? You know,
that actually sounds great. I mean, you know, when you're managing partner of a firm, you don't always see all of the gaps. You know, you're really busy focusing on client service and, you know, earning that money, but you don't really get time to think about the money that you're actually bleeding. So that actually sounds like a great conversation that could really be valuable for both of us.
Thank you. We'll get on the calendar. And I assure you this, Sean, there hasn't been one situation that we've looked at we have not found the ability to help. And good luck with your filing. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Can I peek under the skirt here for a minute? I'm kind of interested in, Lindsay, like how much per hour would you charge for your services? And I certainly would expect a markup. And then what would the law firm then charge their client for the services?
So typically my rate is between 75 and 100 an hour, and that usually gets marked up to between 150 and 200 an hour for the firm.
And so, Lindsay, how did that feel for you, the dynamic of our exchange, what you're present to?
So that was an interesting way of thinking when addressing the gaps. And part of it is, you know, I stay in such a niche, just in the trademark space, so I can really speak to that. But what you're letting me think about is, are there not other practice areas, because I don't really want to cross over into areas I don't know, but even about, you know, thinking about who's answering their phone, who's calendaring for them, who's, you know, you're dealing with people who start their own firm. And so all of these areas where there's potential opportunity here, to really align ourselves with some of these firms and allow them to take on more capacity, because you can't take on clients if you can't manage your clients. It just doesn't work. So if we can help them with that capacity, then they can go take on more clients and everybody's going to benefit.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Lindsay. And let's drop in with Tamisa. Let's start with Lindsay. What feedback did you have?
For Lindsay's side of it, or how you presented?
For Lindsay's side of it.
Okay. I think Lindsay was, picking your brain for what you could offer. And you were very, very specific in asking permission to share something with her, and also giving her the opportunity to know how much time you needed of her. So then she was able to ask the questions she wanted, knowing that she wasn't going to be held up while she had this brief she wasn't going to be held up for long, and she could get back to work. But you opened the door by giving options, by saying what you went to her pain points, and I thought that was great.
Awesome. How about for Paul? What was your feedback?
For Paul?
Remember the idea where I pushed for a lunch meeting?
Oh yeah, okay, we're back. I was waiting for you to do a shift with be a different person then. No, I like what you do, Paul. I think you definitely show, again, positioning your value, and you went for her needs. So the second time around, you actually went for what her needs were, and you showed and told her how you could benefit her. So that was great. And then you locked in something. So perfect.
Awesome. So thank you, by the way, Tamisa, so much for being here today. Your feedback was much appreciated, as well as your time and your energy. And how was your day today on The Real Raw?
It was interesting. It was brand new to me. I didn't know what to expect, and I was pleasantly surprised to enjoy such great energy prior to when we got started, and to continue on forward. So a new process for me, but it was great.
Well, thanks so much, and thank you for being here. And how about Dick? What did you have as feedback for Paul and his round?
So for Paul, I think that he adjusted the pitch, which is great. He definitely leveraged the ability for himself, his experience, 50 years of restaurant experience and brokerage experience. You can't replace experience. He filled the void and turned over each and every stone that he could possibly turn over within the time to understand the client's needs, and to really, and did a good job complimenting her as well too. A lot of it, when you're complimenting someone and you turn over their needs, the sale process becomes a lot easier. So excellent job, Paul.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And how about for Lindsay?
Yep, and Lindsay, awesome job. Okay, I thought this time it was much better. You found out, you discovered the goals. Okay, and the goals for a lot of most busy attorneys is time. They need to free up time, and you offer that solution. Okay, again, you maintain your level of detail oriented. You're very extremely detail oriented, but you gave them the ability to get their time back. And for that, that's very impressive for a busy attorney, for anybody that's busy, because you can't replace time. We all have 24/7, 365, and you probably gave them back at least another 8 hours a week for their own productivity, for the family, or anything. So that's awesome job.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And Dick, we appreciate your time, your presence, your energy as well. And how was your day here today?
I had fun. And for those who know me, if I don't have fun, I'm not doing it. So fun is fun. And like I said, I thought it was a great experience. I thought Sean, you bring tremendous energy, which I love. Okay. Laura Lee, you should be an actress.
Oh,
it's
thank
the
you. You're
role-playing.
sweet. Thank
Awesome. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. A blast. Thank you.
Appreciate you. And Carl, what do you have for Paul, please?
Yeah, so for Paul, I mean, I agree both with Tamisa and Dick that he agreed with their situation. He actually talked about resources that he had available, and the profiling aspect of it to kind of help match. I thought that was kind of interesting. Caught my attention, at least. Of course, the 50 years sitting on your side of the table. I thought that was a powerful statement. He also, one negative is that I felt like she had to ask for his attention to draw the conversation back to her. So I thought he improved big time. I'll give him a 9.5.
Excellent. And how about for Lindsay?
Yeah, Lindsay, I mean, it was like a 180-degree flip from the first time. And I actually liked the first presentation really well, because I felt like I did this last week on your side. So like, I understand feeling pressured. I was like, how do I do this? Right. But if you combine the both, I think you're going to have a really nice balance. And I felt that, things like you get the work-life balance to bring you joy, all those kind of things. On the side of suggestion is, I would have expected a little more compassion over the person's busy schedule. You acknowledged it, but it wasn't a compassionate type of sound. So, but yeah, great job. I'm going to give you 9.5.
Nice. Well, appreciate you, Carl, and for all the work you're doing here. And have a great day today.
Yeah, I found it great. I mean, again, I did this. I was on a contestant last week or a couple weeks ago. It's been a blur, and it was really fun and eye opening. And I think I learned a bunch in this process too, and being a better listener and really understanding what is going on. And thank you again, Sean and Lorelei. It's been a real pleasure. And so I look forward to getting to know more about this.
Yeah, well, thank you, brother. Appreciate you very much. Lindsay, fantastic job. I love what you're doing in the world. Your congruence, your energy, certainty was quite present. And I love the fact that you're really specific focus and what you do. Thanks for being here.
John, we're losing you. We're losing your audio.
Okay, can you hear me now?
It's better.
Much better.
Okay. So yeah, Lindsay, so if somebody was like, I don't know, should I go on this Real Raw thing? What would you?
You know, what do you have to lose, right? Like you can do anything for 30 minutes an hour. And, you know, I've learned a lot. You know, I'm new to this business and I'm incredibly passionate about it, which it matters. But it's always good to refine your delivery style. So this is great.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you very much. Paul, thank you for being here. Excellent work. And how about yourself? How was your day here today?
Pleasure. Good to see Dick again. Lindsay, you did a very nice job of one of the things in the first pitch. And when you make a pitch that's an important point, you might pause afterwards, let them digest it. You were kind of busy to get at your next point. Specifically, when you talked about immediately onboarding or ramping up time and that, boom, you just collapsed that, you're ready to hit the ground running. I think that's a very, very important point. And that's something that you could take, pause. Very often it's important to understand the power of the pause. Sean, next time you order in from Tom Sawyer's, say hello to George there. I had worked with him a long time ago, many years ago.
Kidding? Tom Sawyer Diner is right next to our office. That's extraordinary.
What do you think I've been doing here between talking? Yeah, I find out who you are, where you are, what you do. I got your cases. I got Preston versus Sheldon. Come on. Two things you need in order to make a deal or a negotiation. Two things, time and information.
Extraordinary. And how was your day on the Real Raw here today, Paul?
Loving it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being
Good.
here.
Lorelei, I'll see you Tuesday for lunch.
Okay.
Paul and his citadelness, Lindsay rocking the world of making sure that attorneys not doing things that they shouldn't. And we're so appreciative for Carl, for Dick, and for Tamisa, for their feedback, for their energy as judges. And Lorelei, final for today.
Final is all business begins with shared experience. And this is what we're doing. We're having a shared experience. And happy to see everyone learning and growing. And we have Monday nights, Sean, at 7 Eastern. What is Unblinded and Why the Real Raw? Join us for that.
No. And thank you, Lorelei. Outstanding job every morning, Clubhouse 9 to 9:30 for anybody to build and grow and accelerate their business exponentially. Appreciate you guys. It is Thankful Thursday. Have a beautiful day. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks for it. Lorelei, one small thing though.